Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where we talk about the movies, of course, theme parks, merchandising, I don't know, whatever the case may be. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, then yes, of course, I'll be talking about it. So here we are, I reckon. And thank you anybody for tuning in, of course. So anyway, since I've talked about princesses for the last few videos, so I just thought I'd talk about this again. I know some people are getting tired of this, but I'll bring it up here again because why not? Of course. Anyway, so this is probably one of the, I guess, one of the things that come up the most frequently, I guess, when it comes to the organization. I suppose. Yes, of course, I could do this kind of video in various different ways, quite obviously, but especially when it comes to these characters, of course. And yes, obviously, I've defended these characters more than once. And yeah, it's been a number of different occasions where I talk about this. And one of the most really weird things I've heard about that is that supposedly these movies are sexist, which they're not, because one of the most obvious things is that Prince's characters do have some kind of influence when it comes to politics. That is very true. What I'm referring to is real life, in actual events. In real life, yes, princes, it was actually a thing way back in the day. I mean, there still are a thing back in the day. Again, I'm talking about real life events, folks. Kings, queens, princes are still a thing. There's still some places out there in the world that still have this as a thing. So, yes, princes' characters do have a, and princes' individuals in real life do have some kind of influence. So they do have some kind of authority, kind of a thing, way. But point being is that I know in a lot of Disney remakes, yes, I don't like remakes, I still don't. Or these remakes are attempting to do a serious correct course because the old films are supposedly sexist. But okay, I know a lot of people out there had heard this term "gore boss," which yes, I do think that in itself is cringy in some ways. The term "gore boss" typically refers to a woman who takes charge of a career and pursues her ambitions, which in itself isn't necessarily a bad thing, of course, often used in a business context, which again doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Because when you think about it, it's supposed to go into the whole idea of having a sense of empowerment, independent, and whatnot. That's fine, of course, but it's just the thing is that this has been a popular term when it comes to having women, celebrating them, and who have this kind of entrepreneur kind of attitude, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. But yes, I know in recent years, okay, in many years actually, this term had received many criticism, rightfully so actually, and the term has been faced a lot of criticism, being forcefully overly commoditizing the term, and it has some kind of term only be focusing on some kind of, I guess, only making women out to be better than men, making women make women seem like they're better than men just for being women and whatnot, which of course is ridiculous when you think about it. Um, of course, you're supposed to have equal rights and whatnot. Not every princess character has to have this kind of idea that, oh yeah, she needs to be this warrior character. She needs to be fighting. She needs to be going out in battles. That's just ridiculous. You can't just generalize every single character, female character, I mean, to be out like this. Just because it works for one character doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for the other. Is what I'm trying to get it. Get it? I just don't understand how a lot of families would complain. A lot of women nowadays will complain about the fact that, oh, every single princess character should behave in a very specific way, which they don't have to. Again, what works for one character may not work for the other. Yes, I know a lot of characters might nowadays may seem different than back then. Like for example, how the female character in Lion King may be different than compared to how the female characters may behave in, let's say, Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, Beauty and the Beast, Mulan, Tarzan, so on and so forth. Of course, And again, that in itself doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, of course. Oh, you can even look at the female character in Pocahontas, the first and second one, of course. All of which could be imaginative in their own right, and that's fine. And then, of course, we have characters from, let's say, the original Cinderella, or how the character from the Prisoner Frog, like how those react. They're completely different, and that's fine. And that in itself doesn't have to be a bad thing, of course, is what I'm getting at. That doesn't have to be a bad thing at all. But again, not every single character needs from the from these princess kind of characters need to be some kind of warrior. Again, what works for one may not for work for the other. I mean, yes, I know the whole thing with dances in distress can be a bad thing, of course. Which just says, can be. I see what you mean here. If someone wants to put up that argument, but not every character needs to be like this. Is what I'm saying. Not every character needs to be like this, of course, and whatnot. You can have a strong female character in a variety of different ways. Again, look at the main character up in The Princess and the Frog. The main character in Princess and the Frog, she's strong in her own way, but she never picked up a sword. Whereas, well, let's say Merida from Brave, she picked up the sword and she's strong in her own way. She made mistakes, but still, though. And again, these two characters came out in a more modern era of Disney, of course, but they would display their own strengths, of course, whatnot, when you think about it. So there's that, obviously. And then you can look at even the character of the original Snow White. The original Snow White, while technically she was a housemaid, I guess, but no matter what happened, she was always kind. She was always sweet. She didn't allow the cruel world around her change her personality. And she also never held a sword or nothing like that. And that's fine, of course, when you think about it. Sure. Anyway, it's just seems kind of weird if you ask me, like how a lot of female characters are supposed to be so in a way and whatnot. It just seems weird. I think it's kind of weird if you ask me. Like a lot of these female characters have to behave in so in a way, according to a lot of people in this day and age, which I don't get, but whatever, guess, sure, whatever. Anyway, but it's just something I'm complaining about. I guess in some ways it's kind of a rant, suppose. But then again, what was it? I'm more often ranting about really stupid stuff anyway. Again, having every character put act exactly the same, it just seems weird. Because again, you don't want to be all these characters to be stuck in a category or any one specific box, and that's kind of the weird thing because a lot of the people who are criticizing these movies all complain about these characters being stuck in a box, but then turn around and keep them in a box. That's bizarre. And why not just mix it up a little bit here and there? I don't know. It just seems weird. All right, it just seems weird to me if you ask me. That's what I'm saying. It just seems kind of weird. But anyway, it's just something I just want to complain about, as I often do. When you think about it, just something to complain about. Just Christ Almighty, I don't understand people. I don't understand people whatsoever because people don't make no sense at all. Anyway, it's just again, thanks for anyone for tuning in. Of course, I appreciate it. Just give me a rant here. I guess I'll mention Alice. Yes, I'm mentioning her because she was originally considered as a princess, but anymore. Anyway, in the remake, which was so bad, she was basically a warrior. I'm like, why? That seems kind of I don't know. Out of all the characters I could have used. Anyway, seems like again trying to correct the course. Anywho, that'll be it for now, folks. So, as always, thanks for watching. Take care. See ya.